Okay, welcome everyone. So we move meeting to this time. We better accommodate people in Asia. I also didn't randomize the meeting item this week because I think it's better to just put all the llama stuff together. We can get started with any company updates.
Yeah, so I mentioned our product on Twitter. We're gonna have our first product, and it's gonna be affordable for people.
Oh, a $200 board.
Yeah, $199. We haven't announced what it is yet, but Claude is hard at work on it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we'll sell like 1,000 on them, at least. But some of this depends on getting. We can get the driver through an Apple. Better. Yeah, if you listen to the meeting, all right, the product is the Llama Chestnut, a very nice EGP board, a USB 3 and 4, an SDI chip. You can power it with an ATX power supply or an ugly 12-volt source.
Can you get closer to the mic?
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Hang on, let me go into OpenCode and ask it to boost my mic gain. Boost mic gain.
Okay. That's not.
Well, I can use this microphone. Is that better?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay. That's not.
Chestnut, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I saw it closed earlier. I think just ask them to create issue. I think that's easier.
Yeah, for common to create issues? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know. So just create issue first. Otherwise, we don't know anything. Then, if we don't have a really good response time guarantee, but we should prioritize that so we can decide. I'm gonna just act
That's
on
good.
it. Cool. Anything else? Or company update?
Oh,
Okay. Next, we can start with the current trending loop.
So we're at like 8 hours now on Llama 8. It's saying like 2x faster than last week.
Can you quickly summarize what changed to how much?
So the biggest change was switching from our flash attention to just Hippocampus flash attention. That drops flash attention to 200 milliseconds a step, and the rest of it is gem. I have this really bad Claude coded script that analyzes step times. I don't know if we want this.
Why
Is the profiler one not good?
Huh?
The profiler one? The best I have?
This also reads from the profile pickle. It just breaks it down to like what kernel is on what time.
yeah, I
It's
think
able
it's
to do
fine
the
to have
same thing, right?
Yeah, it's essentially
Well,
the same thing. I just wanted
it
to be able to
categorizes the kernels.
Yeah, I just wanted it in categories so I can see what's slow. And
So
supposedly
you
it also-
have
Oh,
you
yeah.
have copy. What do you mean by that, right? Like you can't just
It's
add
any
up the copy
time
times.
that's not overlap with compute.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's another thing that the generic profiler script can't do. I think it's worth having something like this, but it's important that it uses the same API.
Yeah, it just reads the profile pickle and then uses that.
So these others are mostly, I mean, I see also for all the gems, we are transposing them.
I haven't looked into that. That might be a billing question.
Yeah, I mean, so we can either store the gems transposed, or we could find a ASM gem that doesn't need to transpose them.
We might be able to store them transposed. I have to see, because storing them for like attention, the WQKV stuff, we can't exactly do QKV fully, just because if we want to shard across the attention heads for 405B, the sharding works out weird, I think, if we just naively store it as WQKV.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should really work on speed too much anymore. I think we're pretty good on speed. I think now the main thing just has to be getting a 405B step.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to still test model parallel, but I think it should just work. I don't see many blockers as long as we, and I think everything fits too. Oh, fuse optim doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, probably what we want to do is just not use the optimizer class and just like manually kind of do it in the trainer.
The problem with fuse optim is that when we create, it uses cat to create the fused grads and fused parameters.
Yeah.
And that one cat kernel is extremely large, and it's
Do you
been like
do you want to try the new set item fused? It all fused into one kernel.
I will try the set item fuse. I'll try rewriting it to use set item. That was one of my thoughts too.
I think it works if it's not overlap. There might be subtle issues, but I think let's should fuse into one kernel.
Okay. Because
I mean, do you
ideally,
want to look into?
oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Ideally, we want to do grad clipping as part of the optimizer. So I have a PR that moves grad clipping to also use the fused tensor, and that saves a bunch of like the small kernels. Because basically all the small kernels are part of grad clipping and the optimizer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe even before 405B, what we want to do is we want to get like a 405B plausible trainer running for 8B. So we want to get model parallel and optimizer offloading working on 8B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think flash attention is done. Gem is done. I'm happy with the state of those. I don't think we have to keep messing with them.
I'll do a run with parameterized gem just to make sure like nothing's broken.
Yeah, so I'm testing it right now. We used to have the only difference between parameterized gem and the current gem is that it looks like the embedding gems are using ASM gem, and that might have been what made it unstable. So I added
low.
It's unstable. It's not just slow, it's actually faster.
I see.
But I think, or I don't know, I mean, it could also be just tiny AMD4, but we also really have to do something about these discovery signature mismatches. It's super annoying for the workflow.
So on my branch, I added some contiguous and contiguous backward, and it seems there was some weird fusion with a gem and an RMS norm that was being weird.
Oh, okay. No, it just on tiny AMD4, it just crashed again. It has nothing to do with the the big gems.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, try a run with your setup with the
Yeah, do a run on
the
3 and
param.
see if it's stable.
Yeah, and if it's unstable, we should just figure out exactly which kernels got changed. But yeah, I mean, we need more stability here. There's no bad kernel that needs a reboot in the system.
Yeah. For, I guess, slightly moving on to drivers, the discovery signature thing has been kind of annoying. It's annoying enough that when I'm doing single kernel testing, I just switch to AMD GPU.
Yeah.
Because at least on AMD GPU, the reset is the cycle time is just a lot faster. I don't have to hive reset each time.
Yeah. Nimblejet, how are they doing that?
So AMD GPU doesn't do hive reset. So basically, yeah, the problem is that we cannot sync AQL queues after that. And because they use like something like mass that works for them.
I see. Can we enable that?
We can, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we have to, like, absolute top priority of this sprint is getting this stuff to be stable. It's a super frustrating workflow.
Yeah, I see. So actually, I have no idea how like my 350 machines got into this discovery mismatch state. And actually,
It happens
like the
happens to me all the time. Like, it's not like I get it in some weird thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have fuzzer, so it worked fine on MI300, but not MI350. And actually, after that, the GPU won't respond. Like, you can bypass this. Like, actually, for some reason, like the table is clobbered, so that's why we have signature mismatches. And actually, this table is like located after TMR zone. So I don't know if it's something related to SOS, because like even if you just hardcode all the registers and all that stuff, so either bootloader or SOS won't respond to the SMU reset. And I know, yeah, it's pretty reproducible. I'll take a look into that. But actually, the AMD GPU, like if you do the hive reset in a loop, so it will like last for like 6 times or so. And they all have the same problem with the bootloader not responding.
Oh, even just looping hive reset eventually breaks.
I mean, with AMD GPU, yeah.
I mean, we have to be doing something wrong, right? Like, you don't think these things are just this bad?
I mean, with AMD GPU, I use their reset, like the AMD GPU reset function, and it also breaks for them.
Ugh. We like, is there like a repro script to do that we can send to AMD?
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah, just add a script and I'll link it on Twitter for AMD and be like,
so that one.
your
I
machine-
mean, AMD hardware. So you just do reset.
if you use like their tool to do reset.
Yeah, I mean, like the CSFS to do reset.
Yeah, just put a script in extra that will bring down a machine that has the latest kernel driver and the latest firmware, and we'll report it to AMD.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, we need some way to mitigate this. We need, because it's I mean, it's super frustrating to work with.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So highest priority of this sprint is improving the stability of the MI350 stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just got another, like my WAN-DB runs are all crashing on Tiny AMD4, and I don't know if this is a change I made with the gem stuff, or if it's, I don't think it's a change I made with the gem stuff. The tests pass. Like, I test all the kernels that Llama uses, and the loss seems correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a look into this.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I also think this sprint I'm going to look into the beam timing stability. Actually, I've been looking into that so this week as well. And actually, so no, I'm not sure that's related to the cache. And I had a theory that it's related to the clocks or something like that, because if you run, like, after some time, like it takes to compile kernel, you just run the first kernel is always, so in my test, it was always faster than others. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
But actually, yeah, I mean, the difference, like in terms of percents you've seen on Tiny F1, like, is huge. I mean, on our like R4 machines, it's not so bad. It's about
yeah,
30%.
we probably want to have like stable STD for beam timings if we're using the AM driver.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
this is all much lower priority than making the MI350 stable. I just hit again, like the thing crashed, and now I'm getting discovery signature mismatch, and I have no choice but to reboot the whole machine. It takes like 5 minutes. Yeah. And yeah, any way you can reproduce this using AMD's tools that we can send to AMD, they're very responsive. So
Okay, yeah. Put this into a script.
Okay. Anything else for Whispered?
That's all.
Okay. Anything else for Nimogen?
And that's it. I know we can only discuss if we want to see like PMC like metrics for NV.
I think lower priority than ability and beam, but yeah, I mean we still gotta I go work on the SQTT like thing, or what's it called?
EMA.
EMA.
Yeah. Performance monitor something.
Cool. Yeah, no, again, I think we should really focus on the 250X, but I did get that working on my 5060 for USB 4. And yeah, I mean, I think that what we have to do is just like the timestamps are implicit. It's sampled at a fixed frequency. So we'll just put that on a viz with the timestamps at a fixed frequency, one per thing. And then we can kind of see what the waves are doing.
Yeah. I believe that's
Um,
32 cycles or so. And that should be configurable.
Oh, we can sample faster.
I think we do the fastest, but yeah, that should be configurable.
Yeah, and for any sort of like performance counters, I mean, what I really want from them is just like we have to think about what we can put in viz equals 1 and what we can put in viz equals 2. If we can put performance counters in viz equals 1, they're like valuable. We can like always run them. If we have to put them in viz equals 2, then like we're already running the whole tracer and everything.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, top priority, MI350X stability. I think everyone here is frustrated with having to reboot the thing. And I would imagine that most of it isn't anything you're doing. It might even be stuff AMD's doing. So anything that we can send to AMD, publicly shame them about, it's always effective.
Sounds good. Next for the Viz fast jam.
I don't know. I don't think I'm broadcasting. If you want to talk,
Into my computer, you can.
I can tell there. So for ASM, the thing is still not
Can you
parameterized.
get closer to the mic?
Hang on. But it's not at fast level for the living one. Otherwise, I think it gets like 600 teraflops. I'm not over the upper fence unstable.
It's definitely faster. I got the parameterized thing where I don't think the instability is related to it. The embedding kernel it's faster. At least the whole thing is it goes from 17.5% MFU to 18.
Would you say that something?
I don't think they can hear you. Can you talk through that?
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
past
let's
your,
buy.
I'm past your step count now. I'm at like 120 steps, and it's been stable.
I see one of mine made it to 120, but yeah, I mean, this might literally just be AMD 4. I don't know if we've
I
ever
hit-
done a training run on
I did hit a 25% MFU though.
25. So it's more.
This is ES8 with Gradacum of 2.
Yeah, but you're getting 25. That's the highest we've seen.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, no, it should be faster. Yeah. I mean, my test showed that it was faster.
Anything else for Viz fast jam or whatever you will be working on next?
I don't think your mic's working. No, we'll have to get a mic we'll get a mic for the office.
So you two are in the same room?
Yeah, we're in the same room.
No, we have a much bigger room.
Yeah, it's super nice. We got carpet now. Here, I'll post a picture.
Oh,
But yeah, I'll talk and see if you can fix it. I think it's not working still.
is it working?
I think you also have the SDMA stuff when it's in this.
Oh,
So-
okay. Now it works.
Yeah, we'll get a real audio setup for in here. With we got fiber internet coming too.
Oh, there's no fiber internet yet.
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. We're on 5G.
I see. Okay.
That's a way. That's to sign the fiber internet with the company Chop.
Mm. Oh, the stamp.
The stamp. Yeah. We have an official stamp. I had to go pick it up. Well, I mean, overall, it's been easy. Everything's been good. It was very easy to sign a lease, and the internet was easy.
Hey guys, it's Juan. Congrats on the new office.
Hey, thanks.
Okay. Assuming there's no fast gem, other stuff, we can move on to the cool params, other assembly stuff.
Cool. Yeah. So I got the assembly stuff merged. I left the emulator in tests, but the stuff that I did merge, I think, like kind of meets the bar for TinyGrad. Most of it is handwritten. Almost none of it's Claude. I mean, Claude did like 10 lines, the same way I used to use it. I've started to think that the AIs are just scarily like a slot machine. Like you just type something and you like hope it will work. And the problem is it does work like 1 out of 10 times, and you get addicted to that variable reward. But it's not really a good workflow to accomplish anything. So yeah, I moved all the emulator crap out and just have the ESL, SKGT, the generator in there. That's all merged. Call param, everything's moved to the new call API. Is pretty nice. It's pretty easy to see. Like you can do like custom kernels and non-custom kernels all using the same API. Yeah, I reviewed the x86 assembly backend. There's good stuff in there, but like if Thompson doesn't want to, I'm not going to have arguments about ways to do things. Like if he doesn't want to do it the way that I want it done, then he's not going to maintain it. I'm going to maintain it. So, my take on that. And yeah, so this week I want to work on 2 things. I want to work on starting to think about what it's going to take to move Flash Attention and Gem into our code gen path. I've been thinking a lot about like producers and consumers. I'll read over the Tiny Kitten stuff and figure out why it doesn't match Hip Kittens and like sort of what primitives we need. And I also want the trainer to start faster. I don't know. It's not too bad now. I made some improvements to it, so it looks like it starts in like 5 minutes. Does a step in like 90 seconds. Like it's okay, it's usable, but hopefully that's not too bad for 405B. Do we know how many more layers is 405B versus 8?
Not sure.
They're going to be like way
It's
too painful.
126 layers. 8 is 32.
And what's the other one?
32.
Okay, so it's like 4x slower. Still kind of doable. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that too this week to see if I can actually get call to collapse all the layers.
Okay. Next. Anything else?
Oh,
Okay. Next is the compiler, render, and image.
Yeah. Yeah, so compiler pairs is removed. I have a PR up to remove compiler set as well and kind of like unify. Like the big thing there is unifying all the renderers under like a single initialization like API. So like you aren't passing some of them some arguments and some other arguments. It's pretty opinionated, so I don't know. It'd be interested to hear what people think about that. But basically you would pass a string that is interpreted as like the architecture. So for instance, like maybe it's a GFX 950 or GFX 1100 or whatever on AMD. But then on CUDA, you would pass like SM_120 or SM_89 or whatever. And I think most stuff seems to fall into this category pretty well because as it turns out, it's like pretty useful to have a human readable string to define your architecture. So for the most part, everything seems to fit into that pretty neatly. So that was the thing I was thinking of doing for refactoring renderers.
Are we going to remove all the variant of context var or the helper vars?
Yeah, so the idea was, and I'm certainly open to other ideas here, but it feels very odd that we have two different ways to select which compiler. So for instance, like you can both do, AMD CC equals LLVM, but then you can also do AMD LLVM equals 1. And I feel like we should just have one of these, like that we shouldn't have both options.
Yeah, we should definitely remove that. I agree.
Yeah. So my
So we
yeah.
currently have it's the same thing for device, right? It's like CPU equals 1 and the
Yeah.
dev equals to CPU. I think we should at least have something like a renderer equals to something. And maybe
Yeah,
it's discoverable through the Python-m device thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think renderer is probably a little bit too long of a name, but something like that is definitely not a bad idea.
Well, but yeah, so I wouldn't I'm looking at this PR. I mean, I wouldn't break the old behavior. I would just
Okay.
move the old behavior into helpers, right? Like I think that we don't want, I agree that there's two ways to set the renderer and that's annoying, but the idea shouldn't be to change tons and tons and tons of stuff. It should just be to just put a minimum bridge in helpers that reads for the old ones.
Yeah. Okay.
And then sets the new one, and then you can change everything else to use the new one.
Yeah.
So you don't have to change. I mean, when I look at this PR, the problem I see with it is that it's updating both tests and the code at the same time, and you should avoid doing that as much as possible.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
no, I think that's probably the right way to do it.
Yeah,
anyway,
but no. In general, I'm pro removing it and making it something like CPU CC. And as much as we still have CPU equals 1, AMD equals 1, we may want to go to just dev.
Yeah.
But that's like such an opinionated change that should be a one-line change, right? The more opinionated the change is, the smaller the diff should be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The other stuff that was in there, which I think is also pretty opinionated, is changing like how null and the Python backend work, which is like the idea being that you would set your renderer and your architecture to determine, like you use these two things to set what you're emulating or what you're using your null backend for. And in theory, this allows you to run your null backend on everything, as opposed to just like the two things that we have hard-coded support for. So the idea being that you could set like your arc via a context var, and you could say, okay, well, I want to compile for a 5090, or if I want to compile for a 4090. I mean, obviously, it can't run it, but it can, it can run the compiler stage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I see what you're doing there with the with the renderers. You're just stripping the name renderer off it. I like that. But the okay. So you just code all of them in there. How was the arch specified? We had a
there's a context var called cross arch, and then you would set that. I mean, it can be named anything, but you set that, and then it specifies the arch.
I mean, in some ways, we kind of want to put that like on the device, right? Like we want that to be on the when it's doing the lowering, right? When it's doing the creation, when you have a kernel UOP and you're creating the source UOP and the binary UOP, it needs to know the arch.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I see like you have something here like null_cc.value is not Qualcomm :IR3.
Yeah. That was the syntax.
But what is that the syntax of?
That's for the renderer. So you're specifying that I want the Qualcomm IR3 renderer, and then you would
Yeah.
additionally set crossarch equals 630.
Can you write this up in an issue and then we can debate it there?
Yeah, for sure. That I think that makes sense.
Sounds good. But yeah, no, as far as the other change goes, yeah, just move the environment variable wrangling into helpers.
Yeah.
And that way you can update the code without updating the tests.
Yeah,
but
and that
yeah.
fixes that bug with. Well, I mean, is type supported? We would hopefully remove, but that there are bugs that are related to this.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then what else? So the other stuff is image equals 1. Yeah. So we have float 16 support now, and that was like a 10% improvement. But then a bigger thing was getting 2D indexing to actually work. I still need to work out a little bit. I think that I'm not able to right now the way I'm doing it. It doesn't look like I'm removing enough of the valid, like the simplify valid stuff. Like it would be nice if there was less gating. But I am doing the thing where we pass multiple textures in case there's two different things that we need to do to modify or to be able to remove some gates. So that's good. It's not fast enough to replace image equals 2 by default yet though. So I just merged this. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you got it merged. Do you know all the stuff that's missing?
So I haven't figured out exactly what there's a lot of differences in terms of like what kernels get generated. So I haven't been able to figure out exactly what is causing the performance difference. But my intuition is that it has to do mostly with not being able to remove as many gates as I would want to be able to. But I need to look into that more.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I mean, yeah, I really want this done this sprint. This has dragged on way too long. I think this is, yeah, the compiler stuff is a lower priority than this. I think this is the highest priority.
For sure. Yeah, no, this is
yeah, this has now been we're now over 8 weeks into this. I expected it to kind of be a 1 or 2 sprint thing. But okay, sounds good. Yeah, and then put an issue up for how to discuss the opinionated change. I agree that the current story around this stuff is pretty nonsensical. And yeah, I mean, not because of anything you did, but just like we never really have decided, okay, like what are the actual things we're choosing? I think maybe we may want it to look like the LLVM triple as much as possible. Like, I'm sure
that's
kind of
where I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like I thought, oh, maybe we should call it target or something like that, but that seems like the sort of environment variable that someone else might want to use.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a question as much of what we name the environment variable as like where we have that state.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea of putting that state like on the device UOP. Like the device UOP can have there's multiple things that are conflated, right? Like you have a device, you have an arch, the device has a number, and the device can also be like a cross device, like the null thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of have you have your runtime device, your compilation device, your renderer, and then your device number, which is part of the runtime device.
And also mock GPU, which is not well specified in this.
Well, yeah. So yeah, the mock GPU changes your runtime device more than it changes your Yeah. I mean that's more of a flag to the runtime device. I think actually the mock GPU thing isn't the worst. But I think it
does make you render to PTX on CUDA.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean that's not a like what I would do for that is kind of just have an assertion.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you render to PTX. I see. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, this is the kind of thing that needs to be discussed in an issue, and we come up with a good way to do it. But yeah, no, overall, I like most of the compiler set thing. I like the dictionary a lot better than compiler set. just have the default one be the null string.
I think that's it.
Oh, I just remember, do we want to do anything for multi-machine?
What would we do?
I don't know, half of the milestone is multi-machine.
Yeah, I think we have enough to deal with right now. That's not multi-machine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hopefully we can get to it in March. But yeah, I don't think we should put any resources on multi-machine right now.
Next is my stuff. So, the most important thing is assign and set item for regular non-disk thing are all lazy now.
Right.
You can try it. Let me know if you have if you see any issue. Currently there are 2 known issues that I'm aware of, and one I'm currently fixing is you can see my test earlier. If you do a plus equals 2 for multiple times, it will change the buffer. I know the reason for that. To fix that. The other one is if you want to do like a swap 2 items on one kernel. For now, we don't have a way to write that. So we can add a contiguous somewhere to make it correct. But for now, I don't know how to like fuse that into one kernel. It's probably fine. But if we want to do something like a sort in one kernel, then you need to have a swap mechanism. Yeah. So the currently list is done through like tracking the dependency and push everything into the realize and do like multiple schedule and kind of a multiple realize there. The eventual goal of this is to push that into afters, but I just discovered tons of bugs in the current after behavior. It's really
Yeah, I really don't like that it's still multiple realizes.
yeah, I don't either. I
And
think
then
this
there's
is good
also
to this is good so that I can separate issues because now I see the like what the structure needs to be, then I can start to see why it's like broken. Sometimes some kernel just drop. I think bufferize is the biggest issue. It was probably not built on a good assigned behavior anyway, so I really want to fix that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a fine intermediate. I'd much rather push any sort of complexity into the realize function instead of having the complexity be in things like set item.
So my strategy now is this is what Cloud is really useful for. I just have Cloud fuzz all kinds of front ends that you can think of to abuse the set item and see like what's correct and what's wrong. So now I'm pretty confident, but still let me know if you see anything that's like wrong.
Do you want to switch cat to use that instead?
Sure, I can test that.
Yeah, I think that we don't need to switch it like in the fuse assign. Even if we put it behind an environment variable for now, we can have something called like, set item cat or something.
Okay, I will test.
But
I need to better test that. There are some subtleties when you repeatedly set to the same buffer, but got a pretty good handle on that. So
yeah, I mean, I do want to switch it to after behavior too. Like, I'm not sure, does it really not work? Like, are there bugs in the current after?
yes, it has tons of bugs. I don't even know how it works. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, it makes less sense in the okay, so I'll
So
explain
I think it's probably just a combination of some tags or bufferize drop something subtly.
well,
Because
I can explain
after
this.
itself is kind of simple. Right?
I can explain the spec for after, because after has a very clear spec.
Yeah, I know.
But then there's
So after is
Oh.
correct. It's how the after is being handled generates the wrong kernel. And sometimes it drop kernels.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really designed to be in the kernel graph. That's not really tested.
Yes, so that's the main issue.
Yeah, but the design for the spec of after, and this is another problem potentially with assign. So like, I think one of the issues with assign is that you can have assigns to non-realized buffers. And then what do you do?
A full assign or a slice assign?
Either one.
Now we just find a place, create a contiguous word.
You just add a contiguous. So the spec of after is that after belongs on a buffer, and then you can put anything you want on the other sources. So the first source to after is a buffer. And you can put anything you want on the other sources. And then after promises that you will get that buffer after the stuff in the other sources has run.
Yeah, so this immediately is wrong if you have a self-dependency.
What's a
Like,
self-dependency?
You cannot have a buffer that has after to itself, right?
Well, no, but like, so if you want to do this with like a slice assign, it's not that the buffer has after to itself. It's that the after becomes the UOP on the tensor.
Okay.
Right. So what you would do is you'd traverse the tensor graph, and you'd update the base tensor to be the after.
Yes.
It should work.
That's the first thing I try, and I struggle with that.
Why?
I don't know. It's just silently wrong, and
I say. Yeah. I mean, it's not tested.
I mean, I understand. I also want that to work. That seems to be the most obvious way to deal with this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but it might be weird on the Rangeify stuff or something.
so I clean up a lot of buffer related helpers and the assign related thing in Rangeify. So everything is at least
Yeah, so you're
for what it should be. I think
so you clean up some buff UOP. That was nice.
I really want to change. This might be an API change, but I really want to change is realized. I think is realized should be should always be true once you code realize on something. It's very weird that if it's not, it's realized than what it is. It probably describe a subset of state, but that's weird.
I'm very supportive of changing it. It's not really
So
thought through,
the
and
main
it's
issue,
not an external API.
the main issue I hit, and this happened in a lot of tests we wrote, is empty. Empty is a very weird thing that if you code realize on an empty, it does nothing, just like const. Only if you do something to the empty, say +1, and it would presumably give you a like allocate that buffer for you. And this behavior is very weird because we use empty for all kinds of tests in like schedule and like how many kernels, and that always is the only thing that behaves differently.
Yeah, so I think the solution there might be to just, I wouldn't change what empty actually does, but I think empty is just always realized.
Oh yeah, so that's what I want to change.
Yeah.
So similar to const, basically I just want to follow that invariant because then I can use a lot of Israelites in the tensor.py instead of now I need to look into the UOP and check if it's ops.buffer or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good invariant.
Yeah. So another thing I want to fix is the copy and no op. We currently have like 3 hacks that depends on no op, and I think that's really bad.
We should delete no op. No op is just asking for problems.
Sure, but we first need to. So for now, it's very similar.
I know the copy one. Yeah.
For now, it's the same as force reshape. Like,
yeah,
it's designed for something else. So I think NoOp has issue with copy. This might cause the issue in the weird behavior in multi. I'm pretty sure in some cases it will just do a random copy because NoOp is not deduced properly or something like that. Well, so let me know if you find anything weird in the trainer that you think is a schedule issue. I would take a look. I want to get this fixed because copy to do the lazy disk assign. That was the very first goal when I started this project. We need to rewrite that to copy, and for now, copy does a weird thing with no op. So I need to fix that. But now currently, multi also depends on that behavior. So there's the chain of X.
Got it.
I have pretty good experience with Cloud. It's very useful to understand the flow and the things in scheduler. It's very useful to read code and like
It's amazing at reading. Yeah.
yeah. It's also not bad if I know how to fix this and I just need to type things for me. That also works. It just cannot discover a good solution by itself.
What I found a lot of these things is you spend time with it reading code, and then once you're confident that you both understand what needs to be done, then it can write it. But if you're not confident after reading what it said and you just ask it to write it, it gives you totally the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yep.
I have found another way to use it too, which is if there's a loop that's very clearly closed and you give it a test that it can't cheat on, then it seems to, if you're willing to burn a lot of compute, it will eventually figure things out.
Yeah, what I did was for all the Rangify and scheduling rewrite rules, I just asked Cloud to write a for loop and try to disable every branch in every rules and see if anything breaks. Something like that it can do.
You know, I mean, it's great at like everything you were just too lazy to write the script to do before, it just does for you.
Yeah.
But you see the problems with the, you know, that GLM flash. It's like that is still, it was 600 lines. Now it's 150 lines, and it's still 100 lines too many. And if you don't carefully read every line, it's slop. And if you don't stay really on top of that, I think a lot of projects that don't stay on top of this are going to find themselves buried in technical debt. And
Yeah, I think it's both true that I can say maybe more than 90% of the code I push is written by Cloud, but also I delete like 99% of the code like Cloud wrote. So that's both true.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my thing. So focusing on like more of this refactor. I think the cat thing might be useful for training, and also the multi thing. If you find like smaller report, let me know.
Which multi thing? If I find?
I think multi. We used to have this optimization lets multi-pass in a smaller D type. That might be the flow 32 or reduce thing was Perry mentioned earlier. I also believe multi sometimes do waste for extra copy for no reason. So fixing loads will help. Okay. Enough of my stuff. Opened other issues, bounties.
The run looks stable with the ASM change.
Yeah, I'm like 1,000 steps in and stable.
So the problem's literally the AMD4.
Potentially, yeah. This machine is
Great.
thermal throttling a bit though.
Oh, you want to turn the fans back up?
Oh, is that why? Did Colin turn the fans down?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll turn them back up.
We also have now a much smaller set of bounties. only the ones that's easier to verify and truly useful.
Yeah. It's not that the other ones weren't useful, it's that, yeah, they weren't worth verifying. These ones that are speed, it's pretty easy to verify. And like if someone actually manages to achieve that speed, I'll spend some time saying that this is AI slop and they need to write it better if they do it with AI. But yeah. I mean, in general, I think I don't think we have to get rid of bounties. I think just the bar for bounties goes up. So, but we had a bounty claimed. And it's clearly AI code, but you know, I was writing that with AI too. It's fine. The test pass, it's not like too much like slop. So yeah, we had a bounty claimed yesterday. And yeah, we have 8 bounties remaining for anybody to try. Yeah, there's no more. There's no more like refactor bounties already didn't really work, and now they really don't work.
Yeah. I think for people who really want to contribute, there's probably like 30 different Tinygraph bugs in my head now. So there are tons of stuff to fix.
Oh yeah, we should. No one from commas here, but yeah, I'll say file issues and
yeah. So I think first is file an issue, and we don't want to block them, but we also need to see like how this workflow works better for them. So file issue first.
yeah, I said if you open issues with repros will lock.
Then we will triage that. We'll figure it out. Anything else? Okay, that's it for this meeting. Thank you, everyone. See you next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Bye.